Stop on my trip, we visited the Temple of Angkor Wat, which is located in the ancient city of Angkor just outside of Siem Reap. Today, Angkor Wat is an archaeological site. It was known as the Lost City for years, but at its height, it was the capital city of the ancient Khmer Empire. Thousands of people lived there, and it was a technological marvel of its time, complete with irrigation for farmlands and incredible architecture. The Temple of Angkor Wat is the most famous temple in the city. Angkor Wat was originally built in the 1100s as a temple to the Hindu god Vishnu, and it was later cared for by Buddhist monks. It's better known for its layered roofs, columns, and soaring stone towers, which reach more than 200 feet in the air. It also has beautiful wall carvings that tell the stories of the ancient people who worshiped and prayed there so many centuries ago. So I can't think of a better way to end this journey. I hope you've enjoyed following along on my trip. I hope the stories of the girls I met will inspire you to really commit to your own education. And I hope you will keep on learning about countries and cultures all around the world.
Rising from the floodplain of the Mekong River in central Cambodia is one of the most spectacular temples in the world. This is Angkor Wat. Once a Hindu temple, now a stunning monument to Cambodia's golden age. Angkor means city, and Wat is a temple or pagoda. And it is massive, spanning an area that could cover the flight decks of more than 100 aircraft carriers. At the center of this vast complex is this: a temple twice the height of the Tower of London. It's one of the most amazing engineering projects in the world. Not just for its size, but for what it's built upon: water. Because Angkor Wat is floating on a swamp, supported by a foundation of subterranean water. Mysterious and captivating, its enormous scale and beautiful carvings are the brainchild of an autocratic king. His name is Suryavarman II, Shield of the Sun.
Suryavarman is in his prime.
Archaeologist Charles Hyam believes that Suryavarman was more than just a man.
He's a muscular, powerful military leader, but he's also a demigod. Everyone around him is on their knees.
Yet, despite his supreme power, what motivates him to build Angkor Wat might be his own insecurity. And the reason for this insecurity may lie in the way Suryavarman seized his kingdom. Cambodia, 1113 CE. This is the heart of a vast empire ruled by a people known as the Khmer, which includes modern-day Cambodia and extends into Laos. Suryavarman is not yet king of this empire. He is only 14 years old, and his uncle holds the throne. Not even the heir apparent, the ambitious teenager, believes he is destined to be king. According to legend, the young man ambushes his uncle, traveling through his domain. As the fight continues, the youngster breaks away and leaps onto the old king's elephant and kills him. Victorious, the 14-year-old gains a fitting new name: Suryavarman II, Shield of the Sun. Having seized the throne, Suryavarman immediately sets out to consolidate his hold on the empire.
It was a true, gigantic and sophisticated empire.
stone conservator Simon Warwick is fascinated by Suryavarman's legacy.
Perhaps on a level of the Roman Empire, though it hasn't been studied as much, but it was gigantic.
In spite of his success, Suryavarman II is a usurper king who seized the throne by murder. If he does not want to get overthrown by enemies opposed to his rule, he must establish his position as a god king in the eyes of his people.
This is very common all over the world. In every culture, a king who has slightly dubious CV will impose himself with his architecture and his art to prove that he really was chosen by the gods. He certainly did that at Angkor.
Consulting with his priests and advisors, Suryavarman pursues an aggressive plan. He starts by selecting the Hindu god Vishnu as his patron. His choice sends a powerful message, since Vishnu is invoked by other kings in times of war. To honor his divine protector, Suryavarman will construct an elaborate religious complex. This would not be built of wood like any normal Khmer building, because wood, like man, perishes. To transform their kings into gods, the Khmer use a material that will last for eternity. They build their temples in stone. Building temples is one way that Khmer kings can demonstrate their power. And they will build more than 700. But Suryavarman wants his masterpiece to surpass them all. It'll be the largest temple in the Khmer Empire, Angkor Wat. As befits his ambition, Suryavarman's plan is godlike in scale. Angkor Wat will reproduce on Earth the world of the gods in every detail.
The Hindu conception of heaven was Mount Meru, and Mount Meru occupied a mythical place somewhere north of the Himalayas. And there were 5 mountain peaks where the gods lived. Here you had to reconstruct that.
So, at the center is an enormous temple mound, topped by 5 towers soaring 65 meters above the floodplain. This is known as the Temple Mountain. The Temple Mountain was clearly a place of worship, but it may also have had another, equally sacred purpose. The building presents conflicting clues. It is dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, yet it features Suryavarman II's posthumous name, Parama Vishnu Loka. It faces due west, the compass point associated with Vishnu, but also the direction of death.
When the king became king, the first thing in mind that he had was when he died, he had to go to heaven. And so here they had to reconstruct, literally, heaven on earth. And there was already a massive project. He had a large army of architects, he had his priests, he had his soothsayers, he had everybody organized from the word go to build this massive complex, so that on death, he went straight to heaven.
Hayam believes that Suryavarman planned this complex as his gateway to the afterlife. Like the pyramids in Egypt, the temple should be completed before the god king dies. If not, he might not join the gods in heaven. This was unthinkable. But just clearing the site amid the steamy rainforest is the first challenge. Because the area it covers is huge, some 500 acres.
It's hard to get your head around how big 500 acres is.
For engineer Ed McCann, the scale of this place is staggering.
500 acres is about the size of 250, 300 football pitches.
It's not just the size of the site that is daunting. The construction hurdles are equally formidable.
And this will be covered with trees that are from this sort of size to, you know, meters in diameter of hard tropical wood. They've got a few machetes and maybe an axe or two, and they've got to chop their way through this in the middle of steaming heat and bugs and beasties everywhere, and this would have been a mammoth task, an absolutely mammoth task to clear this area.
Like most of Cambodia, Angkor sits on a flat, waterlogged plain. But it is the capital of the Khmer Empire, and to boost his prestige, Suryavarman needs to build here. So his men must erect millions of blocks of stone in the middle of a flat flood plain where there is no quarry. And he must do it in a monsoon-plagued swampland, which will somehow support his megastructure for nearly 1,000 years.
金色的很啊。